Africa is the world's fastest growing continent, but headline GDP numbers hide a harder question. Which economies are actually building the factories, infrastructure, and jobs to turn that growth into lasting wealth by 2030? We ranked 10 hidden growth leaders across industrialization, energy, exports, technology, and risk. And some of the strongest cases aren't the ones you'd expect. Let's begin at number 10. In 10th place, Zambia relies on its massive copper reserves, but its raw mineral export model carries significant financial exposure. While the economy expanded by 3.5% in 2024, forecasts for 2026 range from 4.2 to 5%, depending on volatile global metal prices. Public debt reached 90% of GDP in 2023, making diversification urgent. To move past raw concentrate exports, local suppliers must expand into mining equipment, while agriculture pivots to processing maize and soy. Powering this shift, the recently commissioned 750-megawatt Affluent Gorge Lower Hydro Plant and solar mini-grids are stabilizing the grid against drought. Number 9. Senegal is trying to pivot offshore oil and gas revenues into stable manufacturing jobs. While the economy grew by 4.9% in 2024, and forecasts for 2026 hover between 4.7 and 5.2%, real progress depends on local factories. The newly built Diamniadio industrial park must transition from empty warehouses to fully occupied textile and processing plants. Cheaper electricity from offshore gas must power local fisheries and Dakar's port, rather than just expanding state budgets. With inflation holding near 3%, managing rising debt service costs is necessary to avoid fiscal slippage before 2030. 8th place, Ghana faces a major macroeconomic gatekeeper before its private sector can drive a real boom. With 2024 growth at 3.8% and 2026 forecasts ranging from 4 to 4.5%, recovery hinges on managing public debt, which sits around 71% of GDP. While the Tema Free Zone has successfully commissioned textile and food processing modules, a local SME manufacturer testing this ecosystem still faces high operating costs. Success by 2030 depends on whether mobile money and export credit under the African Continental Free Trade Area can lower these costs, stabilizing inflation while expanding processed exports. Number 7. Tanzania builds its growth trajectory on port and rail logistics. While a 5.3% expansion in 2024 lays a solid base, and 2026 forecasts hover between 5.4 and 5.8%, the real test is whether the Central Railway and the Dar es Salaam port can slash inland shipping costs. In the Dar es Salaam Special Economic Zone, local factories aim to process agricultural goods for export, absorbing an expanding workforce. Powering this expansion is a natural gas to power initiative designed to supply steady electricity to manufacturing hubs. However, election-related policy uncertainty and fiscal consolidation pressure pose risks. This gives Tanzania a risk-adjusted score of 34 points, showing that potential depends on execution rather than raw numbers. Number 6. Uganda targets agricultural processing and logistics connectivity over a single mega-project. After registering 6.3% growth in 2024, forecasts for 2026 range from 6.5 to 7.6%. First commercial oil production is projected for 2027, but the immediate test is whether the Namanvi and Kampala industrial parks can convert raw coffee and fruit harvests into processed exports. Exporters rely on Northern Corridor road upgrades to bypass costly border delays, while digital finance expands rural trade. However, unreliable grid power and heavy reliance on raw farming exports limit its risk-adjusted score to 35.9 points. To achieve a true boom by 2030, Uganda must secure steady electricity and build out food manufacturing factories to keep value-added revenue inside the country. Fifth place, Rwanda targets digital public services to overcome its small market constraints. The IMF identifies the country as a strong recent performer, with growth averaging 8% in recent years and a 2026 forecast of 7.8%. To lower transaction costs, the state has digitized public services and backed Kigali Innovation City to attract private technology firms. However, a domestic market of 13 million people limits local scaling. For a true boom, by 2030, Rwanda must use the continental free trade area to scale processed exports and create formal jobs outside Kigali. This execution earns Rwanda a risk-adjusted score of 37.2 points, even as high donor reliance and rising external debt remain persistent constraints. Number 4. Benin represents one of the region's strongest performers, but long-term success depends on reshaping its production. The economy expanded by 7.5% in 2024 after a 6.4% rise in 2023, keeping inflation at 1.2% and the budget deficit at 3%. Forecasts project growth of 7.3% in 2025 and 7% in 2026. Escaping raw commodity dependence requires converting cotton and cashews into high-value textiles and processed foods inside local industrial zones. Expanding throughput at Cotonou's port and the semi-border hub can feed regional trade, but thin power reserves and a shortage of technical skills limit progress. These challenges leave Benin with a risk-adjusted score of 38 points. Number 3. Ethiopia stands as one of the continent's most dramatic industrial experiments and its highest risk execution case. While the World Bank reports strong expansion of 7.2% in 2025, with a 7.1% forecast for 2026 and a provisional estimate of 7.5% by 2030, this momentum occurs within a heavily debt-distressed economy. To turn this growth into lasting wealth, the state has built massive manufacturing hubs like the Hawassa and Bola industrial parks, aiming to scale up leather and apparel exports. These zones connect to global markets via the electrified Addis Ababa to Djibouti railway, while the expanding Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam provides cheap electricity to run the factories. However, critical foreign exchange shortages, transport bottlenecks, and debt restructuring threaten to stall private production. This leaves Ethiopia with a risk-adjusted score of 38.7 points, making its transformation dependent on whether public infrastructure can support consistent private sector manufacturing. In second place, Côte d'Ivoire is transforming from a raw commodity exporter into a regional value capture hub. The economy grew at an average rate of 6.5% between 2021 and 2024, with 2026 forecasts projecting continued expansion of 6 to 7%. Rather than simply shipping raw cocoa beans, the country is scaling up domestic grinding and chocolate production, pushing cocoa-derived export revenues from $1.2 billion in 2020 to $1.9 billion in 2024. This agribusiness strategy expands to rubber and palm oil processing, backed by a stable power grid and improved logistics at the ports of Abidjan and San Pedro. This industrial capacity gives Côte d'Ivoire a risk-adjusted score of 41.7 points. For this momentum to build lasting prosperity, by 2030, the state must insulate farmer incomes from global commodity price volatility and bridge the infrastructure gap between rural regions and coastal ports. And finally, in first place, Kenya leads because it combines logistics, energy, and digital finance into an integrated, productive ecosystem. While real GDP grew by 5.4% in 2024, the April 2026 International Monetary Fund outlook projects a steady 4.5% expansion. Instead of relying on a single commodity, Kenya links Mombasa Port and the standard gauge railway with geothermal and solar power grids. This diversified base drives tea and horticulture processing factories, while also powering a fast-growing ICT sector. Backing these businesses is a massive mobile money network that scales up startup finance, retail commerce, and logistics services. For a services exporter, this coordination makes regional trade efficient, testing whether growth can translate into real wealth. This structural strength earns Kenya a top risk-adjusted score of 42.6 points. But persistent fiscal deficits, drought exposure, and heavy debt burdens remain severe domestic risks. To achieve a durable boom by 2030, this private sector engine must use the continental free trade area to scale up processing factories and generate stable, quality jobs far beyond the capital city. Across all 10 entries, one truth emerges: GDP growth is meaningless without structural transformation. The nations poised to boom by 2030 are not just growing, they are actively building the industrial grids, processing hubs, and infrastructure to capture value. Which strategy do you think will succeed? Let us know below.